Hi, hello everyone. I'm Jonathan Skrzypek, and I'm really happy to be with you, all of you today here. I'm a director of engineering at Dune, and today I'm going to talk about Dune as crypto's leading data platform, how it relates to Stellar, and how it can help their Stellar ecosystem. And thank you for the clicker. So something we've been passionate about at Dune for many, many years now, we started back in 2018, is the kind of dilemma there is in the daily world on blockchain. So in its essence, blockchain systems have been designed to be open and transparent. So in theory, if the system is designed to be transparent, anyone should be able to go and look at data. Well, that's the theory, because while there's a notion of public blockchain data that is available, the reality is it's practically inaccessible, and that is for multiple reasons. One, because even let's say you get your hands on a blockchain node and you manage to download some data, well, the chances are the data is going to be really hard to decode and work with, and let alone make sense out of it. And that is because the data is going to be specific to that chain, specific to a distributed app or a protocol that just launched. But let's say you manage to finally decode and get your hands on the proper data. Well, data is actually fragmented now across multiple chains and multiple distributed apps. And even if you manage to get your hands and decode some data for a couple chains or a couple distributed apps, well, guess what? There are new protocols and new distributed apps being launched every day. And not only that, even existing applications, their smart contracts might upgrade. And so you lose track of what the analysis of what you had decoded in the first place. And so what we've built over the years is a source of truth for blockchain data. We've been creating blockchain data since 2018. We've integrated over 75 chains, and now data is available across more than 1.5 million data sets with a whole bunch of queries and charts and dashboards that people can look at. Now the question is, did we do this all by ourselves? Definitely no. The way we've been looking at this is, get rid of the concepts of legacy data platform and get rid of the closed nature of all the systems with multiple smaller closed companies and ecosystems that have been creating a small subset of data that is only interesting to them, but built in the open. And so what we've built is a platform that is founded in the concepts of being open, global, and collaborative, which means when we put data available on Dune, anyone can come in, query that data, and build on top. And they do that collaboratively as a community coming together. What that means, in essence, is that Dune allows anyone to easily analyze any on-chain data. You can come in today on Dune.com and write SQL or be helped by our AI features if you don't know SQL or it looks a little bit too scary for you. And then you can put together a chart, multiple charts, and once you've put maybe what you consider is enough charts together, you can put this together as a dashboard and share it. Maybe because you found a pattern that you find interesting, a trend that you find concerning, or maybe because you've launched a new protocol, or maybe because you've launched a blockchain and you want to tell your story of what's happening on that chain and what the ecosystem looks like. And what this means in general is we also acknowledge that not everything happens on chain yet. And that you might want to analyze data that is on things that are happening off-chain. And so you're now able to also basically upload data on Dune, off-chain data on Dune, and being able to analyze that and combine that with other data. As an anecdote, when we opened this feature, the first data set that people uploaded was the Fed interest rates to compare that to his blockchain data. But maybe you've got a critical mass of data and you also want to work outside of Dune because you've been collecting data on your side for many months or years, and you can also extract data out of Dune, or you can also use our APIs if you're a developer that wants to build on top of Dune's data. But in terms of dashboarding and what most people see, this is where we are now, where the world's top Web3, Fortune 500, and TradFi institutional investors trust Dune and go to Dune as a front page of crypto to understand what's happening, because the truth lies in the data. People can come in with all sorts of narrative, but at the end of the day, what matters is happening on the blockchain. And Dune allows people to be digging into that and understand what are different interactions happening on an ecosystem. But why I am talking about all this, how it's relevant to Stellar. It's relevant to Stellar because today I'm announcing that we're welcoming Stellar to the Dunes family. And that means all of Stellar's data since Genesis is available now on Dune for everyone to see and query. And with that, I'm going to welcome to stage Billy Garlinghouse, who's in PD at the Stellar Foundation.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right. So we've been working on this for a couple months now. And I'd like to understand, maybe the audience would like to understand the reasoning behind you thinking about this partnership in the first place.
Yeah. So in February, we launched our smart contract platform. And we quickly learned that we didn't have a great way to show what was happening with smart contracts, with the dApps that are being built, the volumes, the TVL, all of that. And so when we were thinking, okay, how do we show this data? How do we get this information out? The first name and the name that kind of carried through was Dune, right? The go-to platform for data in the blockchain space. And so for me, and being one of the people that work closely with you on this, very exciting to launch and now have that available to everybody. So on that note, I mean, if somebody wants to get involved, whether a developer or anybody, they want to see Stellar data, they want to use Dune, what do they do?
Sure, that's a good question. So what you can do is go on Dune.com and simply, to start with, search for Stellar. We have a couple dashboards that are live now, and we have dashboards on Stellar as a chain, but also dashboards that our creators have put together around acquirers, so some of the top deployments on the chain. And really, where most people start is by looking at existing dashboards and charts, and then looking at what's the data behind those charts and looking at the queries behind them, and you can actually edit them, you can fork them. And really now, what's really exciting is even if you don't know SQL, we have an edit button that is powered by AI features where you can basically talk to the query and say, well, it looks like you only edit this query to look at yearly data instead of monthly data. And Dune.com will actually edit the query for you and regenerate the chart according to what you've been asking it. But talking about digging data and us trying to make it easy for people to understand what's happening on Stellar, what do you think people are going to find out? What type of insights do you expect people to discover, or things that they might not know about Stellar today?
Yeah, well, something that you said during the presentation is that you want Dune to be the source of truth in crypto. And I think that's exactly what we want to show. We want to show what is happening on Stellar. We want you to see the low fees that Stellar has. We want you to see all the great things that are being built. We also want the gaps to be known, and hopefully that opens the opportunity for developers to say, hey, why doesn't Stellar have this? Let me come and build. So.
One thing I'll add is, we've been doing a lot of chain integrations at Dune, and it's been pretty interesting how many things are happening natively on the chain without the need. I know you've just launched Sorban and with smart contracts, but even without that, natively on the chain, there's quite a lot of traffic and activities that we haven't necessarily seen on other blockchains before.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So from its inception, Stellar was built for tokenization of assets, stable coins. So all that functionality is built right in. Sorban now just takes it, or a smart contract platform, Sorban, takes it to the next level in terms of what you can do with that. Yeah, everything has been possible for many years.
All right, look.
So if I want to get involved, if I want to hear what's next with Dune, what's going on?
Sure. I mean, we've got something pretty big coming up. We have our own event called DuneCon, and that's going to happen in Thailand, in Bangkok. It's going to be November 11th, the day right before DEF CON, which is also a relatively big blockchain conference for those of you who know it, and would be more than happy to welcome anyone from the Stellar ecosystem to hear about blockchain data in general. We have a great lineup of speakers with people from the top protocols and the top chains and the top ecosystems. And so hopefully see you there.
Awesome. Jonathan, thank you. And please go to Dune.com, search Stellar, and you can find all the dashboards up already and make your own.
Thanks everyone.